Epilepsy is a condition of the brain whereby there is only a temporary disruption of the electrical current flow in the brain.
My name is Tabitha Misharu. I'm a critical care nurse at the Kenyatta National Hospital in medical critical care unit. Apparently, we normally get the epileptic patients, as epilepticus, and these are patients who are having continuous convulsions. And one of the risks that such a patient has is developing hypoxia in the brain. And these are patients who require good control of the convulsions to reduce the activities in the brain and to reduce the risk of them having a hypoxic brain damage.
It is non-communicable. It's characterized by repeated unprovoked seizures or convulsions. Seizures are also called attacks, spells, by whichever language.
So when we receive such a patient, our aim is to protect the airway. So we immediately intubate this patient, this by putting a tube down to their lungs to allow us to do something we call mechanical ventilation.
A larger part of the brain nerves are involved, then there's total loss of consciousness with part of the body moving, like it can be left hand and left leg or right hand and right leg.
Mechanical ventilation is whereby we give high flow of oxygen to the lungs and we also breathe out for this patient. Thus, at the same time, they are given high doses of anti-epileptic drugs in IV infusions, and such drugs, they make them also to reduce the activities in the brain.
So once a person gets epilepsy, the worst part is stigma. But without stigma, epilepsy is very manageable. So having worked in Kenyatta, when I reported to Kenyatta many years ago, I didn't know I was a potential candidate or client for epilepsy. But back in my college, the privilege is I took care of a child who was neglected, who had undergone a lot of stigma, living with epilepsy. My greatest motivation is that as a student, very junior, I was able to make change in that child's family. During pregnancy, the epilepsy can develop due to wrong formation or malformation of the brain nerves. One, due to exposure to wrong substances. It can be alcohol, overuse of substance of abuse. It can also be wrong prescriptions, either over-the-counter prescription or professional prescriptions which are not adhered to. Exposure to X-rays might be another reason, especially the first 3 months of pregnancy. That's the first weeks of pregnancy is when the brain is developing, all parts of the body are developing. If a mother is exposed to X-rays, has an infection which is not catered for, not treated early, it may affect the development of the baby. If the mother takes medication which is not prescribed or prescribed without revealing that she's pregnant, that again will affect the baby's development. There are also genetic part whereby it runs in families that genetically these family people are born with a possibility of having epilepsy. And please don't mistake it. Having one person in a family having epilepsy does not mean everyone has epilepsy.
Some of the few challenges that we experience with the patients with epileptic condition is the risk, the self-risk, their risk to have the injuries. They can easily fall, they can injure their brain and get into hypoxia, which that means that they can go into total disability. They are not able to support their systems completely.
Our brain is very sensitive. Deprive it of oxygen for a few seconds and glucose, the brain cells start degenerating or dying. So most people wonder why I wasn't born with epilepsy. There's no one in my family with epilepsy, but here I am with epilepsy. Like today I encountered a client who's complaining, I'm in my 50s, I developed epilepsy 2 years ago. Not accepting because wonders why it should be epilepsy. People who have used substances for long, you will notice this, especially at the time of sudden withdrawal. That sudden withdrawal may lead to development of convulsions, and repeated convulsions, now after even stopping the alcohol, qualifies or makes this person be diagnosed with epilepsy and be put on treatment to avoid causing more injury to the brain. I thank Kenyatta that it has a facility to manage epilepsy. I'm doing this so that we empower our society, we empower our people, that epilepsy is a medical condition like any other. There is treatment available, of course, not short term. Don't take it to be like a month for a few infections. It might be for a long time, including some being on treatment for life. People have lived with epilepsy for more than 50 years. And the beautiful part of it, persons living with epilepsy, some of them, the IQ, that is the intelligence quotient, is quite high. Please, anyone living with epilepsy needs such support, psychosocial support, financial support where medications are needed. Please, the government should remember this. And release to medical insurance, because if there is a medical insurance, I'm assured I'll not miss my medication. For people living with epilepsy, there are things which trigger convulsions or attacks which may otherwise be avoided. One, if I control my seizures for about 2 to 3 years, I'm a victor. If I get 10 convulsions in a day, before I know that it's epilepsy, and I control to 1 convulsion in a day, very victorious, because I know by the end of the year, I'll be getting a single convulsion or attack in 1 year. Then I'm told now, you've moved from active epilepsy to inactive epilepsy. Inactive epilepsy does not mean that you stop treatment. It means that the medication you are taking has acted as an insulator.
The patients with epilepsy, it is very important for them to attend their clinics and to take their medications as prescribed by the doctors. In case of any patient has a problem, it is always good to consult.
Timing for medication. Time is very essential. Keep time. If it's 8 a.m., strictly take at 8 a.m. If it's medication that may cause you feel sleepy and the doctor advises once in a day, take in the evening. The second item I'm carrying is an umbrella. Whenever I'm walking, I have to have an umbrella in my bag or beside me, because at times strong sunlight may trigger convulsion. You'll also not miss me having a bag, whether I'm walking a short distance or not. There has to be some food in my bag so that I don't stay hungry for long, or a client stays hungry for long. That is enough to cause a convulsion. When the blood sugars go down so much, a convulsion may come. In that bag, you will never miss my medication. I'm usually equipped with medication. They are bulky, but I have to make sure. This set is for my pocket. This is a set that has to stay in my bag. And there's even a set to put where I can easily reach if I've forgotten to take my medicine. I never get access to water. So I have to carry water in case I need medication. I have to swallow my medicine at the right time. So as people living with epilepsy, be a soldier that is always prepared for an attack and does not allow the attack to defeat, but you defeat the attack. Be victors, not failures. Live with epilepsy. Don't allow epilepsy to control you. Stop stigma, stop a seizure, save the brain. The brain is my motor, it's my motherboard. Don't interfere with it, please, by causing more seizures. Stigma causes more seizures. Failure to seek treatment causes more seizures. Failure to do all those damages the brain.